was a good bunny, tan and fair. His ears seemed to stretch from here to there. He gathered carrots by the pail. But this is the story about Flopsy's tail. Cottontail was the oldest of the three, and he was as wise as he could be. And he'd gather berries from hill and dale. But this is the story about Flopsy's tail. Peter was a bad bunny, snowy white. He was often wrong and seldom right. Anything he started, he was sure to fail. But this is the story about Flopsy's tail. Poor little Flopsy was the youngest in the house. He was so small, he looked like a mouse. He got his britches caught on a nail. And that's how Flopsy lost his tail.
Well, you should have heard the rumpus at the rabbit house that day. A rabbit house, you know, is called a hutch. And since Peter Rabbit's family lived in a very small rabbit house, it wasn't really very much of a hutch. In fact, Mrs. Rabbit always used to say,
"Land sakes alive, such a hutch isn't much of a hutch."
Yes, that's what she'd say. A real tongue twister, isn't it? Why don't you try it with me? Ready? Such a hutch isn't much of a hutch. That was fun, wasn't it? But back to our story. When Flopsy came home with a big hole in his trousers and no tail, Mrs. Rabbit immediately called all of her children around her and said,
"Now, children, you scatter in all directions and make sure you cover all the sections. Just keep on looking and don't you fail till somebody finds poor Flopsy's tail."
And off they went, hippity-hop, flippity-flop. Cottontail went north, Mopsy went east, Peter went south, and poor little Flopsy, without his tail, went west.
Cottontail looked everywhere. Mopsy looked both here and there. Without his tail, Flopsy slipped and slid. And here's what Peter Rabbit did.
"I'll walk along and I'll sing a song. I'm in no hurry, I've all day long. Gee, there's a farmhouse, I think I'll see if anyone there will play with me. Hey, Grumpy Goat, did you happen to spy a tail my brother lost nearby?" "Well, gosh, oh gee, now don't get mad. It's the only tail poor Flopsy had."
He walked along and he sang this song. I'm in no hurry, I've all day long. Rabbits need tails to help them run, and Flopsy lost his only one.
Well, Peter walked on, and he soon forgot how important it was that Flopsy get his tail back. He stopped to eat carrots from Farmer Wiggins' carrot patch and lettuce from Mother Jones' lettuce garden. And with his stomach full, he lay down under a tree and fell fast asleep, singing his little song.
"Oh, I'll lay me down and go to sleep. I'm sure that Flopsy's tail will keep. I'll find it later, that's for sure. But now some sleep I must see. Cure."
And Peter fell fast asleep, and he slept, and he slept, and he slept. And when he woke up...
Gee willikers, what time is it? The stars are out and the moon is shining.
And sure enough, he had slept all through the day and into the night. And now it was too late and too dark to search for Flopsy's tail. And besides, maybe Flopsy, Mopsy, or Cottontail had found it.
Sure. Besides, maybe Flopsy, Mopsy, or Cottontail had found it. I'm gonna go home to the big oak tree, back to Mommy Rabbit and my brothers three. And if no one else has found Flopsy's tail, I'll tell them I searched over hill and dale.
When Peter arrived at the big oak tree, Mother Rabbit and his three brothers were all fast asleep.
Here I am, I'm home. Here I am, I'm home. Nobody worry, 'cause here I am at home. Mother, don't you weep. Don't disturb your sleep. nobody worry, 'cause I'm home in a leak.
But nobody was worried because Cyrus Crow had told them how Peter had slept the day away. And Mother Rabbit and Mopsy, Flopsy, and Cottontail were all angry at Peter because no one had found Flopsy's tail. Since no one would talk to him, and since he had slept all day, Peter just sat there trying to think of how he could get back in their good graces. And suddenly it came to him.
Wake up, everybody! Wake up! I found Flopsy's tail! I found it!
Hearing this, all the rabbit family jumped up and crowded around Peter. Where, they all cried. Show it to us. And Peter said,
Have never a doubt, turn his pants inside out, and you'll be goggle-eyed, 'cause his tail's on the other side.
and sure enough, when they turned Flopsy's pants inside out, there was his tail on the other side. And Mother Rabbit was so happy that she forgave Peter for having been a bad boy. And she fed him a big dish of blueberries, and the entire rabbit family sat around the Not Much of a Hutch and sang.
Down in the meadow by the big oak tree lived little Peter Rabbit and his brothers three. Flopsy and Mopsy